Yes, we are live. Welcome, welcome, welcome everyone to Crypto Journeys, the series where everyone's journey is different, but crypto can be for everyone. I am Ansela, and our guest today is the amazing Dee Brooks, our tax professional.
Hello.
Thanks for being with us today, Dee.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. So traditionally, April 15th is tax day in the US, of course, as everyone knows, not this year, but normally. And so I said, well, let's have a tax professional since Crypto Journeys will air on tax day. So, Dee, tell us a little bit about yourself, whatever it is you would like to share.
Well, I have been doing taxes actually for about almost 20 years.
Oh,
From about,
wow.
I used to work for a CPA firm, and I was looking for someone to do my taxes, and the gentleman, one of the partners, was like, if you can install software, you should be able to figure out how to do your taxes. And so from then I started doing my own taxes, and that was probably about in 2001, 2002. And so I've been doing them ever since, but I stopped a couple of years ago, and I just kind of did a couple of people. And then I just decided this year I wanted to do just some educating people on taxes. And so that's what I'm doing. I'm also an entrepreneur, and looking to transition from being an employee to an entrepreneur full time by the end of this year. And working with other, and that's my goal, is to work with other entrepreneurs, and like love writing, love photography. Those are two of the things that I want to move back to. They were what I studied in college, and want to move back to that. I'm IT now right now, and it's sitting all day long and sitting in front of a computer. And I just decided at this age and this stage of my life, I want to do something different. And so that's where I am. And
Excellent.
cryptocurrency has been part of that transition.
Excellent. Cryptocurrency is going to be part of everybody's transition at some point,
Yes, whether they like it or not.
whether they like it or not. Exactly. So you have a lot going on. I know that I've known you for a couple of years now,
Yeah, it's
and
been
you're,
about since 2019, I think, when we
yeah,
first met.
I
Yeah.
think so. I think so. You've been supportive through a lot of my projects, and when we were doing Women in Cryptocurrency, you would always come out, and
Yeah.
I really appreciate that so much. So now, when we met, you were already kind of getting into cryptocurrency. What made you pay attention to it, or what would say, hey, what's this crypto stuff? What happened?
Well, I, I want to say it was Bitcoins, and seeing a presentation about Bitcoins, and then finding out that there's so many other cryptocurrencies out there. There's just so much more out there. And so I was like, okay, well, I didn't get in on crypto or Bitcoins. Let me see, what the next Bitcoin might be, or something even close to it. I don't want to miss out on it. And I figured the only way I could, you know, kind of get more information about it is to get involved with it and start learning it and associating with others who do it.
Exactly. Yeah, that is one commonality I hear quite a bit. People just kind of start hearing stuff like, "Well, what's this? What's that?" I mean, now I think more people are talking about it, so more people are being approached directly. But I think
Right,
when we were kind of into it, we just kind of hearing stuff in the wind. It wasn't so strategic as far as reaching out to people.
right, right.
So good for you. And what was your aha moment? What moved you to actually get involved?
Well, I think what moved me to get involved was I was looking for, I guess, another stream of income, just trying to find other ways that to make money where I didn't have to work for it, and I didn't have to, you know, punch a clock. I didn't have to dedicate hours to it. It's like investments for me. I just wanted to find some good things to put my money in and just let it sit there.
Okay. Exactly. Yeah, same here. That's exactly the exact same reason I'm into it. You get to the point, D, where your hours are precious,
Yes,
and you're like,
yes.
I'm giving away too many of my hours, and they're not giving me enough dollars for my hours.
They never do. And it's so funny. I remember years ago, and this was someone that was just talking about, they were talking about entrepreneurship, and they were talking about as much as you work, hard as you work for a job, no one ever gets paid at the level at which they work.
Right.
You know,
Very
you,
true.
you, you just don't. They don't look, especially these days, since they cut. Look, the option is to cut your salary or cut your job. You cut your salary, but they still expect you to do the same amount of work. So you're really making a lot less money for the amount of work that they want you to do. And so, for me, that's the, to me, it shows the insecurity. And I mean, my thing about getting out of debt. So I can live off less money. So I don't really have to rely on the job and what they're paying me.
Exactly.
I just keep my debt down and I'm okay.
And that's the key. The less debt you have, the less you need to earn, right?
Exactly.
Makes sense.
Exactly.
Makes sense. So you decided to get involved. You hit your aha moment. So what was the very first thing that you did?
The first thing I did, I believe, was to take one of the courses that you offered. You offered a what is it, when you were doing Women in Crypto, you were having the evening class, you were having the noonday
Oh
things. Remember, you were doing like the
yeah.
noontime or 1 o'clock
Mhm.
or something like that, where you were just talking about cryptocurrency and having everybody invite people on and just explaining different things. And then one time you did a session where you walked us through how to get Coinbase and even showed us how to purchase. You recommended Chainlink, and at that time, and you were saying that, hey, just do, all I do is $50. And so I was like, okay, I can do $50. And so that was the very first time I ever bought
Oh, okay.
that. And so just getting set up with Coinbase and purchasing, that was my first coin, Chainlink.
And I'm proud to say that was a good choice because at that
Yes.
time, I think we got Chainlink for like
It
$1.75,
was $1.75. I think dollar, yes, a dollar something. It was under
something like
$2.
that. Yeah, it was
Yeah.
under $2. And we looked at it Monday. No, we looked at it Tuesday and it was $36.
It's 40
So
today.
it's 40 today.
I was
Oh, see.
let me look at it. Let me make sure. I have the app on my phone, and I was like looking at it. I was even showing someone. I was like, this is $40, and we bought it for a dollar something. And let's see, chain link. Let's see what is that. Oh, I always go to the wrong screen. I always go to the portfolio instead of the home screen.
Mhm.
So oh my God, it's $42.66
See,
right now.
see this.
Yeah.
And one of my friends in Ivory Coast actually told me about that. He said, "Hey, check out this chain link." I didn't check anything out. I just got some. I mean,
Yeah,
because at that point, I was like, okay, well, I'm just
exactly.
gonna get it.
Yeah.
And here we are, $42 later, right?
Yes. Yes.
So
Yeah.
glad, well, I'm glad I was a part of your initiation into cryptocurrency.
Yeah. Look at my continued education.
Right? That's the way it is. Like everyone has mentors. We are all looking to somebody else to get direction and
Yes.
get advice. So good
Yes.
for sticking to it because I know you're so busy, but you carve out that time to, pay attention to cryptocurrency, get involved as much as you can, and
Right.
and benefit from it.
Hey, it's worth it. It's worth the time. That's one of the reasons why I want to get out of my foot, because there are other things I want to do, which is pay more attention to this and put together a better strategy, based on just kind of my educating myself and looking at the trends and all that. And it's just kind of hard to do that, on a full-time job. But I think I said maybe about 3 hours every weekend. I'm just going to sit down and just kind of read some of the stuff that you put out and look at some of the coins that you've recommended, and make a purchase, So it's just about carving out time, especially when you don't have a lot of it.
Right, exactly. And that's what you do when something is important. You find the time
Find
to
the
do it.
time. Exactly.
Absolutely. So now with that said, has crypto changed your life at all, Dee? And if so, how?
Well, I would say it's changed my life in number one. As I said, I found another stream of income that I really want to learn. And then I like learning new things. That's the one thing. My mom used to always tell me, she said, never stop learning and never get too old to learn. And so that has just been my strategy, through life, to learn as much as I can. And so it has made me focus on jumping on things and not waiting and not being a procrastinator. For example, the guap hunt, I still haven't done it. Look, I got the wallet set up and I'm like, and I know it was at
Good.
$5 the last time we talked. I don't know what it is at now, but I still want to it's one of the things that I want to invest in. And so when we have the what was the session we had a couple of nights ago,
On
where
Tuesday.
Tuesday, when we were you were recommending all these coins, and I'm like, I was excited because I'm like, and actually we don't have to have our meeting at 5 o'clock because I'm like, you gave me a lot of information.
Oh, good, good.
And that's what I want. I'm like, what are some coins I should look at? So that's where it's just another, it's a new area of excitement, a new area of learning for me, a new area of making money. And to have already seen it grow, because that initial investment with the chain link was like $40. It was like $47 because I committed 50. Part of it was fees, so it only balanced out to like $47, and now it's over $1,200. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Pretty much. What else can we say?
Exactly.
What else can we say? So I just want to say, since Dee's mentioning that we do get together and I do recommend coins, I do not give financial advice. I just share what I'm hearing through the grapevine, and then every person goes and does their own research. And that's what we always recommend, because you never get a guarantee with these coins. They could be huge winners, or you could suffer a loss. So we just put information out based on what we're hearing, what the sentiment is in the crypto space, and then we make decisions, individual decisions from there.
Right. And it's more of an education process. I think that that's the thing that I would say that Ansel does is just great education. Having someone else, because Lord knows I can't keep up with all the things that you follow and the people you follow and the sites you follow. I don't have time for that. So you're a great resource to just even bounce things off of. Have you heard of this? And you may have and you may not have, and you're honest about, like you just said, it's no guarantees. It's like stocks. A lot of people, I think it's interesting how people do 401k plans all the time, and they put their money in stocks. It's no guarantee. To me, cryptocurrency is no different from that. It goes up, it goes down based on what's going on.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, good comparison. 100% true. So before we tap into your tax brain, what would you say to someone, Dee, who was saying, "Well, I really am, I'm curious about this crypto thing, but I'm just not sure for whatever reason." What would you say to someone like that?
Well, one of the things that I talk about, I do this thing called Motivational Monday, and one of the things I talked about is what we've been conditioned to. We've been conditioned, especially if you're an adult and in our age range, we've been conditioned to do certain things, and the things we've been conditioned to do has not been to take risk or take a chance or try something new. It's always been to play it safe. And I tell people that I've been was go to school, get an education, go to college, because 4 years is a short time out of your life, get a job, get benefits and all this other stuff. But we've never been conditioned to take chances. Right. Or to try something new, or look for instead of just working, how about starting a business, or how about looking at investments? Don't just rely on back way back in the day, you could put CD accounts and different money market accounts and stuff before it branched out into being able to do a little more. But we haven't been conditioned to jump out and try something new. And so that's the thing that I would say, try something new, educate yourself first. That's the first thing. Educate yourself first to get a understanding of what it's all about and how it works. And you will see it works. It works very similar to stocks. Instead of going to the stock market or the stock exchange, you're going to be going to different coin exchanges to look at the various coins and what their values. It's the exact same thing. And the thing is, a lot of time with the stock, you have to put a certain amount in it. With the coins, you don't really have to do that. You can decide, hey, I just want to do $10 right now. And if you do your research or have someone that you're talking to that is very educated and knowledgeable, they may say, hey, I'm looking at this, I'm putting my money in this, it's 5 cents right now. You can buy a lot with $10. if it's just 5
Absolutely.
cents, you know. And the other thing I look at, I share is that $10 is not, $50 is not a lot, especially if you know, go get your hair done every week, you go get your nails done, because I know how much it costs me to get my hair and my nails done, and $50 would be a drop in, but just don't get your nails done one week. You know, let them go. Let 'em- you know, don't get your hair done. You know, and for the women, for the men, you know, whatever your passion is, wherever you like to spend money, just, you know, set a little aside from that, or just plan. Say, okay, next month I want to be able to start with $100 and maybe do 2 coins or 5 coins or whatever it is, and I'm going to save, you know, $20 a week just to do that. You know, it doesn't cost a lot to get in.
Right.
And so to start, but I think the thing is to educate. The other thing is, even if you don't want to buy anything right now, start opening up an account with a Coinbase or some type of exchange, or, you know, because if an opportunity comes up, you don't want to have to, you want to be ready. You don't want to be get
Exactly.
ready. You know, if someone says, hey, Bitcoin just dropped to $10, how you don't want to be trying to
right. By the time you get your Coinbase set up, that's gonna be
it's gonna probably go right back up. That's probably
so
a glitch.
true.
You know, so be prepared. Get a coin. I mean, a lot of things, like I said, and get a couple of exchanges, because every exchange doesn't carry every coin, or it may show you the coin or the value of it, but it does not allow you to trade. You might have to go someplace else to trade, and then learn how to do that. You know, learn how to trade. I'm sorry, my phone is ringing.
That's okay. We can barely hear it. Go ahead.
Okay. So I have 2 different exchanges, because you may have to buy on this one and then transfer it over to this one, because you can't buy the coin that you want. For example, on Coinbase, you may have to buy, you know, because, and again, I try to keep everything on one, but I have found that I need to move it to, you know, different ones, and which is good, because again, I like learning things. It gives me opportunity to learn to trade, because every exchange is different. But I think that is, I think the best thing to do is you want to be prepared. You don't want to get ready.
Absolutely. That's very good advice. Because if Bitcoin does dip, you want to grab it up.
Yes. Because you see, I check my thing every single day. So I know how much it is. So I was like, and even, you know, I would say also, a lot of people think, well, I missed it on Bitcoin. Well, no, you really didn't. Because you don't, the good thing about I think the digital currency is that you do not have to buy a whole coin.
Right.
You can just decide, I want to buy $50, or you may not have 60,000, which is the cost of it. But if you were to buy $100 or $500 or 1,000 worth of Bitcoin, and it jumped from 60,000 a coin to 70,000 a coin, that means your little $1,000, not your little, but your $1,000 is going to increase. You're going to get some profit off of that $1,000. Right. You know, if it's $50, you know, if you put in 50 and it goes up and you make $50, it's still profit. You put 50 in and you now have 100.
That's what I say. Any income that I can get that I did not have to work for, I'm good with that.
Yeah.
I'm good with that. Because that is the goal, not to work.
Not to, exactly. And I'm looking for stuff for me personally that I can just sit in there. And now the chain link is doing so well. Just let it sit there until it's time for me to, you know, retire. And then, you know, it can be taxed at a lower rate. You know, and the good thing, I don't know if I told you. So I told you when we talked on the other 2 nights ago that I was probably going to withdraw some of my chain link because I want to get out of debt. But some other revenue came in from another source. Now I can just leave that chain link.
Oh, right? Well, that worked out great.
It worked out perfectly. I'm like, especially since it's doing well, I'm like, I'm gonna leave it right there and let it grow and not touch it. You know,
there you go. And I see, and this is why I wanted to have you on as well, because you have the tax view of this whole thing. a lot of what we hear in mainstream media, is negative about cryptocurrency. People want to link it to criminal activity, and like criminal activity didn't exist before cryptocurrency.
Yeah.
But I just want to say for the record that in the crypto space, we absolutely respect the tax laws.
Yes, we do.
Whatever they say, what first of all, when they have it all together, because it's kind of,
Yeah.
they're I should say making, they're figuring it out as they go, because it
Yeah.
is new technology. But
Mhm.
whatever they implement, then we adjust accordingly.
Right,
So
right.
what tax tips would you share with us who are already in the crypto space?
Okay, so the first thing I would say, if it's income, you legally you need to report it. I always say you can never go wrong doing the right thing when it comes to your taxes. Um, Even though right now they don't have anything specific in place, they they do have, when you're doing your taxes, there's the option to say other miscellaneous income.
Mhm.
That's where you would put your cryptocurrency income at this time, if they don't have anything up there specifically for that area, because it is income, and anything that is over the amount you purchase for, you've made a profit on it. And so you do have to pay taxes. And the thing I would suggest is to keep records. I took a tax seminar one time, and the guy said that, what did he said? Documentation beats conversation. When you're being audited for whatever reason, or with the IRS, they are not going to be interested in your conversation. They're going to be interested in the documentation that you have. So just keep good records. Every time you make a purchase, every time you trade, every time you move from one exchange money to another exchange, because you never know when IRS finally decides how they're going to regulate this. You don't know how many years back they might be looking to see, because they will look, they will come after a penny. They want their money. And so I'm just suggesting, just always keep good records, and then again, just pay taxes. One of the things that I had to learn, I was just recently learning about, was capital gains tax, and
Mhm.
what that is. And all capital, and I used to think, years ago, in my younger days, I would see that, I'm like, no, no. And because I'm like, that's for rich people. Well, no, it's not. It's for people who make a profit on anything that they sell. So if
Mhm.
you have cryptocurrency and you cash it in, it's just like I said, with stocks. Once you cash it in, that's when you look at how much did you pay for it, and how much is it worth today. So that the difference between those two is either going to be a profit or it's going to be a loss. And so you're going to have to report that, and you can report a loss if you made a loss. If you put $100 into something and it was worth $1 and now it's worth 50 cents, you can report that loss on your income tax. But if it doubled to $2, you have to report that profit as well. So keeping good records, and the best way to do that is every time you make it, because that was my hardest thing about keeping up with tax time and wanting to even do tax times. I got to go back and over my emails and go back into this, into that, and pull the receipts and find. If you just do it as you go along, either electronically, print it out and put it in a folder, or print it out and put it in a physical folder. And I always put mine in a physical file, so I don't have to worry about, going and trying to print everything out. If I do need to show it, it's already
Mhm.
done, because printer ink cartridges just run out so fast. You may need to print something and you have no ink in your printer. So,
Right, right.
but those are the two things: keeping good records, just reporting your income on your taxes, um, and just doing honest. Because if they ever, like I said, it's better to just go ahead and pay the taxes on it, um, than to be caught and have to pay the back taxes and the penalty and the interest.
Right,
You
exactly.
will have to.
So good record keeping is definitely key. Um, just for the record, this show does not give financial advice. Dee Brooks is indeed a tax professional. However, everyone's situation is different.
Yes.
So you should consult a competent tax professional that is familiar with cryptocurrency, if possible, to get your, information for your own situation.
And
Okay.
also that's right, exactly your, because that's the one thing again on when I teach about taxes, I tell them I'm not giving advice, I'm educating you about it, that you should work with your tax professional because they're going to know your particular tax situation.
Right.
And
Exactly.
so you want to work with them to determine, how you do your taxes. But just know that even if someone else does your taxes, you pay a tax professional. Once you sign your name on the dotted line, you're responsible for everything that's in that taxes. And even though, a lot of places may say, oh, we'll come and represent you, and, there's insurance in case we made a mistake, whatever, that's all fine and well, but it's still going to go into your tax record that you were audited and you were found that, some things were not correct. And, again, it's in your tax record. So just make sure that when you're signing your name to, you are getting with someone that knows about cryptocurrency as far as the taxes are, especially where the taxes are concerned.
Absolutely. Great information, Dee. Thank you so much. We had a hello from Miss Liz, who was also with us. Remember in our
Yes, I
little
remember
our
Liz. Hey,
evening
Liz.
meetings trying to understand this stuff. Thank you for tuning in, Miss Liz. We appreciate you. So, Dee, again, thank you for your time. Thank you for the great information and sharing your story and giving us tax tips. We always need all the tax help we can get.
You're
So,
welcome. It's my pleasure.
and I'm gonna. So you said we don't need to meet at 5 now. You're good.
Yes, yeah, I think
Okay.
we're good. Look, I have my stuff out of my little cryptocurrency book, and I have some stuff to research and where to pick up where I left off at from the last time.
Okay. Good. Well, look. Well, I'll take that off my calendar.
Okay,
So, Dee, look, you have a good rest of your day, and of course, you
thank
and I will
you.
be talking as we always do. And
Yes,
I
we
want to thank
will.
everyone for tuning in to Crypto Journeys, a series where everyone's journey is different, but crypto can be for everyone. Brought to you by Guap Coin, cryptocurrency for the culture. Everybody, take care.